Good evening, gents, and welcome back to another one of our client interviews or journey shares, whatever you want to call it. And tonight I've got a very special guest for you. I've been looking forward to having this gentleman come and have a chat. Please welcome Shane Stretton, who's based up in Ipswich, in the southwest of Brisbane. Shane, and you're not originally from there, mate. I think it was originally from Geelong.
Yep.
But your work has taken you sort of all around the country. So, mate, thanks very much for joining us tonight.
No, thank you for the opportunity.
That's good. And this gentleman here, I think last year had a stellar year, particularly on the program, and he actually, this man took out the title of Change Thinker of the Year last year. So it was a great effort, Shane. You had a great year. But I suppose let's just get into, how you originally got involved in the Change Thinking program. I, from memory, you were one of the first people on this particular page on the Plan B Winners site, and I think we spoke a number of times, didn't we?
I did. I was a different person back then. I was a yes man, Mr. Super Nice Guy provider type.
Yeah, and, I mean, you were having some troubles with the marriage. I mean, essentially, you were out doing what a lot of the guys do. You're out there working hard, running around, and to set the picture clear, mate, you're a father to 5 boys, so it's a big family, yeah.
It is, yeah. Very busy. The line of work that I'm in, there's a lot of time away, and thought I was doing the right thing. As all of us men seem to think. You go to work, you provide, you do the manly things, you do the servicing of their cars, and all that sort of thing. Like you said, I've got 5 kids, so it's the 6th kid when you throw me in the mix. Yeah,
indeed. It's something that obviously wasn't sitting right at home, which sort of made you be on the lookout, I suppose, for some answers originally.
Yeah.
And we spoke many times, and from memory, it was a case of you were really trying to do everything you could to get back closer with your wife.
Yeah. To as I'm sure we'll touch through the program, it was that disconnect, it was that rapport. The marriage had hit a pretty low point, and here I am thinking I know how to save my marriage. Podcasts and YouTube and TED Talks and books and audio books and little short courses, and then as the algorithms happen on Facebook,
eventually led you to the Plan B Winners. And mate, I think you were always very, very interested in the program, and I think when the time came around to where you wanted to do it, I think back then it was a case of talk with your partner anyway, but it was really a case of going and asking her, is this something I can do?
Yeah, it was.
That was the imbalance going on at the time.
Yeah, you're right. It was a real, almost a push to, hey, can I do this? But then to be able to come back and say, well, it's going to benefit us. It's going to benefit the kids. It's going to benefit me. This is what the program is, and gave her a quick.
I think at first it was a no, and then we went back and credit to you, mate, because you came to me and we're transparent about what the challenges were, and I think we came. I can't even remember what it was, but we came to some sort of arrangement that allowed you to get started.
It's like even now, like thinking back to all of that, to where it all began. Like there's other programs out there, but they're not. They're there for different reasons, and I think because we had that rapport and we were open and honest from the start, and. If it wasn't for you and, going, holy shit, this bloke needs a hand, and, essentially, giving me that opportunity to, like you said, I had a large family, 5 kids, and giving me that opportunity, I don't know where I'd be, man.
Mm-hmm. And you made a start. Obviously, you got into, because there is a fair bit of content in the program, which takes a little while to get through. But it wasn't long after you just sort of started when things started to go downhill even further, right?
Yeah, 100%. Like it was whether it was just too much all at once, whether I just wasn't in the right headspace. It was just that I guess that clarity, being centered in who you are and what you actually want to achieve. And then, it shifted from trying to, I guess, save the marriage to, well, hang on a minute. What about me? Where's my self-worth? What do I want? And like, that was a wicked journey.
And you're a very service-based partner, right? And putting everyone before yourself.
I was from reading, some of the books and that sort of thing. A people pleaser. I was very much a people pleaser. That was a lot to take in. It's just like, well, hang on. Yeah, all right, I'm a nice guy, but I'm not a people pleaser. And then you get through it and you start looking at it, and then, through the content of, Plan B and change thinking, like, it's like, hang on a minute, what are boundaries? What's all that about? Oh, rapport. Where do we go? What's that? I know what disconnection is, and it just hit this point of just like, holy heck, like, there is just, so much content that is so simple to understand. Like, I don't consider myself, book smart or anything like that. I take a lot to read a book. I had no motivation to read books and that sort of thing, but the content was just so easy to follow, but done in a way that was just easy to adapt.
Cool.
And
mate, there's nothing difficult about it. You're going through, and obviously there was a component of hypnosis in there as well, which obviously optional, but you utilize some of those.
Yes, even before this part of my life, I always loved hypnotherapy. I was part of an act there for Shane St. James, so I've been hypnotised before.
Martin St. James.
Yes, that's the one. I was made to
therapy, right? That's different to hypnotherapy. Fair enough.
So I saw this and I thought, I'll try it. Like, I think there was one there with anger. And like I was feeling a lot of emotions. For all the blokes who are going to watch this later on, like talking about emotions and stuff, like, it's good.
Yeah, and the bottom line is that it got to the point where you guys had decided to split.
We come to that arrangement, and it's like, righto, if that's your choice.
I remember having that conversation with you that, look, in the very first instance, mate, let's do everything we can to try and, you wanted to be back with your wife. You wanted to, really, it was important to you have that family set up. And I remember saying, look, we let's go hell for leather on trying to win her back. And, look, if it doesn't go that way, let's prepare you for what comes after that, if it gets to that. And so that was sort of the approach we took. And it got to the point where she moved out of your home.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And of course you got the 5 boys. So and I've got to acknowledge, man, as I said to a few people, I think you're like the super dad, the way you to look after the boys. But okay, so and you were cruising. I remember one of the limiting beliefs you thought after you split. It's like, Charlie, who's going to want a guy with 5 sons? And I used to go, there's a limiting belief alert, Shane, just going off with that one. And and it wasn't too long, mate, before, sure enough, you found a young lady that was okay with the fact that you had 5 boys.
Yeah.
And blowing that limiting belief just out of the water, right?
Yep. Yeah, like that was, and again, like, it's part of that journey that you go on. Like, you just, once you understand and you can start seeing those little things, be that, I'm 43-year-old, who wants to date a single dad with 5 kids? Like, once you flip that around, it's going, I'm 43 years old. I've got 5 kids.
And for the next few months, mate, life was smitten, right? You were on top of the world, literally. Yeah. And of course, like life, I think the good thing is you've been in this program long enough now. You've done the content. You still turn up to the Sunday night Q&As when you can. but life's thrown you another curveball now, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
your wife is still living in the same city, and you're still in the process of sharing time with the kids. But your employer is now proposing to send you down to Sydney, and that's
Yeah.
causing more dramas, really. So
Mm.
I suppose my question is, the program itself, it gave. I mean, I've seen a transformation of a guy who was.
You can say
Yeah, well, then it's true, man. It's true. You were like, it's like try and get this guy over the line,
it.
but you're so much more focused on your direction and what's important to you and your boys. And it's like, as I said, it's a massive transformation from the guy that I first spoke to on the phone, which has been great to watch. But I suppose you finished the content. So how is the program still helping you? Because it's like, what is it, a couple of years since you first started?
Yeah, it'd be 3 years. It's like, honestly, it's just another tool for life. Like, still having access. I know there's, I remember doing a communication course, and it was a 3-day course, all online. And then once you did that 3 days, like, that was it. You don't have access to it.
Mm-hmm.
But with, like, having access to this, and then still having that drive to go, well, I reckon I can still tweak this, or I reckon I still need to be able to reframe this side of house better. Mm. It's great to be able to go back into the content and just refresh everything. And then, the chat groups that we have, and then, the like-minded blokes that are there, you got the guidance of yourself, and, the content's ever evolving. Like, it just gets better and
continue
better.
to work on that. Yeah. So it was like, I think it was a couple of weeks ago when you dropped in on the Sunday night Q&A, and it was good for me. I was sitting there and it's like, Lee, how you going, mate? Oh, it was like, I think the new guys were on there going,
it was like the Brady Bunch.
Each other. But the fact is, you do get to know other members during the program, through the group chat, through the private members group, and also through just a straight reach out to connect. I'm just trying to look here for you, mate, to try and find exactly when it was you enrolled.
Would have been 2022, I reckon. Halfway through, 2022. And I reckon I was talking to you
2nd of November, 2022. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember when my world was obliterated.
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were in contact from to try and get on there. Like, it took a little bit of time, and so.
And you and mate, we've had many conversations. Some when you're smitten, and others when you're just frustrated as all hell for one reason or another. We won't go into some of those, but which as I said, it's a credit to you. There's no no accident that you got Change Thinker of the Year last year for your efforts. The way you've supported the other guys as well. I know I asked you to be a buddy for a new starter just the other day, and you step up to the plate every time, mate. So and make sure you're offering those support, because you've sort of been there, you know where they're at. And it's been a real pleasure to have you on the program, mate. Just finally, I suppose, message out to anyone there who's sitting on the fence thinking about it. I mean, you were someone that really had to bolster up the bravery and just say stuff, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah. That, honestly, well, I don't want to get emotional, but just do it. Honestly, it will literally change your life. Just if you just do it. 20 seconds of bravery. Just do it.
I remember the day you came down to the coast from Ipswich for the event, because you were in Townsville, weren't you? So in amongst that, there's also a relocation from Townsville to Brisbane. And I remember you, because you're from Geelong and you hadn't been to the coast before, and you'd never walked out on Surfers Paradise Beach, and I took you down there, and you were like,
the squeaky sand.
The squeaky sand. Yeah. So cool, mate. Thanks again, Shane. I hope the people watching tonight have got some value out of this. Relationships tend to be the biggest issue that people call into the program with. And often it's a guy who's just become separated, wasn't his choice. And sometimes it's obviously the guys are being alienated by their partners in some instances, and we haven't had that in that regard. But as I said, mate, it's been a pleasure to watch your development and just see how you tackle challenges that have come along, because you've been 2nd of November, so it's about a year and a half. But in that time, man, you've taken on so many challenges and dealt with them accordingly. I know you've still got some unresolved things going on at the moment, but credit to you, mate. You pop into the program and you refresh yourself on some things and reach out and have a chat when you need to, and and that's what it's all about. And there's no question about it, mate. In over that year and a half, mate, we've become friends, and I'm very, very pleased that you're on the program, mate. I'm glad you're still getting some value out of it.
Yeah, well, I think that's the biggest part that the guys will get when you take that first step. It will literally blow your mind and go, holy shit, I'm not the only bloke. And there's hundreds of blokes out there.
Well, there is, and the interesting thing about the Change Thinking program is that there's so many guys with different types of dramas that have gone on. Whether it's substance abuse, or they've grown up in a dysfunctional family, or they've had an injury that's meant they're on a disability pension, and it's trying to get that mindset right. But as I said, we teach how to control and how to work your nervous system. So regardless of the drama, the skills to do that and cleaning up your negative self-talk is a major part of that puzzle. So mate, thanks again, Shane. I really appreciate you coming on to speak to us, and hopefully it might provide some inspiration for some other guys to take it by the horns and turn the ship around, as I think I've been saying a bit.
Yes, very much so. No, thank you, Charlie.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks again, Shane.
All right, thanks, mate.
So, folks, another great story from Shane there. As I said, same as Shane, it all starts with a phone call. So check that Calendly link out that I'll put up on the screen now. Book yourself a time, and as I said, let's see if we can turn this ship around. Thanks, guys. Take care. Thanks again, Shane.
No worries. Thanks.